Chris Dodds moves in for the throws it up. Darius Defoe wins the tip off. It's in the hands of J. Sean Page. He gives it to Kai Williams. Williams inside. Defoe goes for the first shot, misses it, but that's a great offensive rebound by Kai Williams, who gives the ball back to J. Sean Page. He moves just inside the arc and knocks down his first jumper. 2 points to J. Sean Page, who was 81% from the field last week, Dave.
Looks like he's going to keep that sort of form rolling tonight, but nothing's changed. Darius gets the first look at the basket, didn't go in, but I always thought Kai Williams is really athletic, and he certainly showed some athleticism in that, taking that offensive rebound there.
And there's a steal from J. Sean Page. He took the ball off Earl Brown and hammers it home two-handed. And he certainly made a detention in the first minute with 4 points.
Yeah, what was the score last week again, Jeff?
Yes, Martez Harrison, the reply for Rocks, gives it into Murray, who's guarded by Williams. Murray puts it out to Billups. Billups tries to drive in. And there's another steal from the Eagles, this time by Williams, who tries his best to keep the ball in play, but can't make it. But that's two really good hustle plays already from the Eagles.
Well, quite sure what Gareth Murray was thinking of there. I mean, first of all, he's trying to back in and take on the Eagles by himself in the low post, and then he just watches a loose ball go rolling by, which could easily have been another steal for the Eagles. Yeah,
Kai Williams is very close to picking that ball up. So here we have Martez Harrison coming up against Nimley, and he goes for the long three, which is off the backboard and in, banks it in. Don't know if he called the bank, but he certainly cashed in there.
He didn't have time to call glass, Jeff. It was straight into that shot.
There's Nimley setting it up. White to Williams. Williams going for an early three, and he drains his first three of the game. He gets off to a 7-3 start. Harrison's obviously going to see a lot of the ball tonight for the Rocks, and he brings it up once again. Out wide to Chara, who finds Murray coming round off the screen. Into the middle, looks for two. Nice shot from Gareth Murray from the elbow. Knocks down 2 points. Page and Nimley already combining in the backcourt there. He finds Kai Williams. Nimley going for three, just comes inside. Knocks his first down. Jump shot from about the free throw line.
Well, he may be small, but he's certainly got the ball skills there to create the space and separation to allow him to get an easy-looking jumper off.
Billups guarded by Jukic. Earl Brown trying to go to the basket. Jukic trying to guard him, but good drive by Brown, and he lays it in for two. Nimley on the ball, gives it back to J. Sean Page. Page back to Nimley. Up to Williams. Almost a triangle effect. Page going for the big three, misses it. Darius Defoe gets the offensive rebound. He gives it to Nimley. Nimley goes for three. He misses it. Jukic gets the rebound back to Defoe. And Nimley shoots another three. Misses that one as well. Indication of that Nimley's range there, but neither went in. Meanwhile, at the other end, Harrison tries to go for three. It's a three-point shootout at the moment, except that none of them going in.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there with Nimley's shot, whether or not it was classed as an offensive situation. We actually had 14 seconds on the clock still to run something in the offense, or whether he thought the time was ticking down. It was certainly a long range shot that really wasn't necessary.
And first foul of the game called on Eagles. Jukic for an offensive foul, moving screen.
Well, it was good to see that foul, because prior to that, I don't think either team had played anything at all that looks like defense from the tip-off.
There's Brown turning again, and that'll be a foul on Page. Yeah, foul on Page as Brown tried to spin to the basket. 2 fouls on the Eagles. Slightly surprised, and Tony Gorbaletto was certainly having a word. I was thinking that might have been a shooting foul as well, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing I thought there was the matchup. I'm not sure that Page is the man to handle Brown, but we'll see as the game progresses.
Murray feeds it inside lovely to Chara. Chara inside on Defoe. Gets enough space to lay it in nicely, and Rocks are level at 9-all.
Yeah, it was a really nice feed from Gareth Murray, but particularly impressive power play there from Kieran Achara.
There's Defoe against Billups. Turnaround jump shot at 2 for Darius Defoe.
Trademark Darius has been doing that down the stretch for years. Got good position, sealed his man, lovely control as he turned.
There's Billups on the ball just outside the 3-point line, gives it to Brown, who thought about the three, then drives round the basket and in. And certainly it's a different Earl Brown from the one we saw last week against Sheffield. Obviously had that week in practice and looks a lot sharper. Page from Jukic, who looked as if he was going to drive to the basket, but it was well blocked by Achara. Nice play by the Rocks, and they take the lead for the first time as Harrison feeds in to Billups, who lays it in for two. I think the point you made there, Dave, about early defence, neither team really looking that great on defence at the moment. That will certainly be a concern for Coach Flournoy.
But it will, but you know, it's early in the game, and at the moment, both teams are moving the ball, although very much in different ways. There's a lot of dribbling going on in the Glasgow offence at the moment.
Yeah, there's Earl knocking down the three, and he's up to 7 points already.
Obviously likes playing at Sports Central.
Yeah, 5-point lead for the Rocks early on, 16 to 11. And Flournoy sits assistant coach Dave Forrester down and stands up himself and takes over the reins. He has Nimley to Williams, inside to Defoe. Defoe battling against Billups, and that's a foul by Billups as Defoe goes up to try and lay in for two.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a sight we're not used to, isn't it? Fab Flournoy immediately stepping up early into a game, assuming his coaching role, but I guess with what he would maybe consider a little bit of extra strength in depth this year, this may be the year where he does play less minutes.
I think it's a good observation, Dave, because obviously Fab only played 8 minutes last week down at Leeds. Defoe misses the first one from the line. And, you know, you're right, you don't normally see him up coaching this early on, but I think he'll be, even though we're only 5 minutes in the game, he will be concerned that Rocks have already scored 16 points. Defoe makes the second.
I mean, it's also going to be interesting to see whether our initial thoughts on this game is that the Eagles have got by far the stronger bench is going to be a factor, because right now, you know, Glasgow undoubtedly have made the better start of the two teams.
There's Zukic getting up there to knock that one away. Jason Page did turn down the three, tried to find Darius in front.
Well, the way I saw Page shoot last week against Leeds when I watched the game on the TV, I'm surprised he didn't put that one up.
There's Harrison fighting the Chara inside.
He was wide open for this shot, and that was a really soft pass, bounce pass into a post.
Nice strip from Kai Williams. And there's the first warning for Coach Corbaletto from referee Ferris.
Trust me, Jeff, experience of Tony going back coaching against him as long as maybe 30 years ago, he won't give up. He'll be on the case of the officials all night.
That's a really good steal from Jukic.
That's the second time he's got himself in a really good position off the ball to enable him to first of all deflect a pass and then secondly get a steal.
Page found Nimley in the corner, but he missed his three, and Kai Williams took another good offensive rebound, got the ball to Defoe. Defoe knocks down 2 points.
Yeah, you know, I think Kai can score points as well, but I think one of the big assets he's bringing here is he's going to be a threat on the offensive glass.
Very much so. That's what they're certainly looking for. And Rocks, nice move by Murray. Can't get free for the three, but Chara does, and he can shoot the three. But that one's long rebound comes out, and Harrison picks it up, settles everything down, using the 14 seconds he's got. Finds Murray outside. Murray going for three. He's missed that one. Defoe takes a rebound. Quarterback pass to Kai Williams. Kai Williams lays it in for two, and Murray trying to recover. Fouls him. Excellent play from Darius Defoe with the long 2 point. The quarterback pass which found his wide receiver who laid it in for two.
It was an outstanding pass. I mean, he got the rebound. His head was up straight away, looking down the floor, saw the man break in. Athletic Kai Williams had no problem at all in taking that and taking it in on the hoop.
There's the first substitution of the game for the Eagles as Flournoy comes in for Jukic, obviously wanting to look at the defensive side of things. And we also have Alistair Fraser, who's come on for the Rocks in place of Jalen Billups, I think it is, yeah.
Well, the Fraser one I find interesting because I've seen very little of him over the last few years, although I think he's played in Germany or somewhere. But the last time I saw him play, he's very, very, very useful player to have to come off the bench.
Kai Williams takes it after knocking down the extra point. He takes the seat on the bench, and Drew Lasker's now on. So the Eagles, all three returnees on the court at the moment. So you can expect to see the defense just step up a little bit, especially with Flournoy on the court. And there we go. Yeah. Eagles force a turnover straight away.
You know, I understand, I guess, one concept of doing this, but kind of strange in the sense that actually the Eagles were finding their way better into the game and had actually taken the lead when Tom made these substitutions.
There's Page again. a high arcing 2-point shot, which is going to be a feature of his game, I think, this season. And he knocks it down, takes his score the first one to 6.
Well, anybody who's got a pedigree and been able to say that the Big 12 sixth man of the year has got a real good pedigree to play in the BBL. Looks like he had some NBA teams interested in him as well.
Yeah, I think he was slightly disappointed that he didn't get a chance in the NBA, but and then it didn't quite work out for him last year, both in Germany and in Macedonia. So this is a redemption season, I think, very much so.
Yeah, but he's still got, you know, I mean, Pro A Germany's tough, and you know, 15.1 points per game, 4.8 rebounds per game. They're decent stats if you're playing Pro A in Germany.
So changes everywhere. There's Darius Defoe takes a seat, and Terry Martin comes on for the first time, and we have Johnny Bunyan on in place of Martez Harrison for the Rocks. Well, Brown has made a really good start in this game. Fraser to Bunyan. Bunyan looking to set it up, looking for a char inside, but well guarded by Terry Martin. Brown has to throw up a 3 and off the bank again. That's 2 off the glass. Here's Nimley. Nimley will shoot the 3. That's in and out from Saw Nimley. Hasn't got into the scoring box yet.
Right. A little bit too anxious to get on the scoring box, in my opinion.
He's picked up a foul there.
Kind of tough D on Johnny Bunyan, though, to make up for it. But, I mean, really, those last 2 shots, I mean, point guards coming down the floor and just throwing up these long-range threes is not in the best interest of the teams at this stage of the game.
Kieran Achara takes a seat on the bench, and Jalen Billups comes back on. Nimley trying to go for the steal against Bunyan, but Bunyan just gathers it in. Finds Billups. He's guarded by Martin. Good defense from Terry Martin. And there's Johnny Bunyan all over Saw Nimley. He's called for the blocking foul.
The one thing we haven't mentioned, Jeff, at this stage, and I'm certainly hoping that you know more about them as me, and my question comes in straight away. I thought under the new rules that sort of thing wasn't going to be called anymore. Well,
it's funny because I'm just watching Dave Forrester there, and the Eagles assistant, and he looked as if he was looking for a sort of unsportsmanlike foul, but it was called, and the ball went to Page in the corner, and Page knocks down the 3 to give the Eagles a 3-point lead at 22-19. Page off to a nice start for the Eagles. Brown for Cheshire. Feeding the ball inside there, and that's stolen away by the Eagles. Page picks it up again. He's going to drive all the way to the basket. Makes his 2. Bit of a celebration at the end. I think for Niall, not like that. He wanted back on defence quicker.
Well, Fab might not want it, but that was pretty impressive. It was pretty smooth. Good, really good acceleration. His second step was awesome. Completely beat the defence.
That's a great reply, though, from Billups, who knocks down a 3 from the big man. So now he moves into the key, wide open, knocks down the 2-point shot. He may be 44, Dave, but he's still got it.
More offensive-minded already this year, isn't he?
Possibly going with the flow of his team then. Bunyan, who's done a good job since he come on for the Rocks. There's a foul by Martin, hands on Fraser's hips, just pushed him aside. Well spotted by the Eagles in the penalty. Up by 4, 26-22, and that foul on Fraser sends him to the line.
Yeah, Johnny Bunyan returning to the bench, but you know, he's the sort of player over the years. He comes on and he plays within his limitations. He plays within what he can do well, and he can be, he can be an asset if they want to rest a point guard.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit of an underrated player, as Johnny Bunyan. He does do. He's been around 7 years now with the Rocks, and you don't do that at this level of basketball without having something in your locker. Fraser knocks both down from the free throw line, cuts the lead to 2. Page finds Fenoy. Nimley trying to get to the basket. Great pass inside to Martin, but Martin misses the layup. Nimley goes for the steal, doesn't get it. Bit disjointed, but that nice play from Gareth Murray, who found Billups wide open. Here's Lasker at the other end. Wow, that's quick basketball. Didn't get the drop for Lasker, but definitely a foul going up and then go to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, I mean, one teammate there really went after Billups. I mean, that was an absolute wide open give me for 2 points. But it was good to see that another teammate went to him and said, "Come on, you're better than that." keep your head in the game. I mean, that would have tied the game, and now the Eagles have got a chance to go ahead by 4.
Oscar rattles in the first free throw. Saw Nimley taking a seat on the bench, and Yuri Gunina coming on for the Eagles. Lasker makes them both. And here's Joe Hart coming on for the first time as well to replace Earl Brown. If both coaches getting all the players virtually in the first quarter.
Yeah, giving due diligence to this game and preparing for it. I watched a lot of the Eagles warm up, and Yuri was taking threes or warming up, and he seemed to be very, very slow shot, but then he made 7 out of 7. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe this kid can shoot after all.
There's a steal there by Lasker, and he's come up with another steal. It's a bit disjointed at the moment, I think, Dave. It's fair to say.
And in fairness, basic fundamentals are letting the Rocks down. That missed an easy layup, and now there's a good feed in, easy catch. 2 points ready for him, and he fluffs the catch. Tony won't be pleased. You can see that stance. I've seen that over the years. Hands on it, looking at fresh air.
Yes, Harrison coming around. Lovely pass round Page to find Fraser under the basket.
Yeah, Fraser will feel much better there, because that wasn't an easy take. He took the hard take well, and the easy take not very well at all.
There's Jason Page at the other end, knocking down another 2, takes him up to 13 personal. Billups on with Martin. Martin blocking away, nice spin by Billups, 2 good spins, but his shot doesn't go, and I think good defense by Martin on Billups, but Alistair Fraser come up with a big rebound there and has tried to put it back, was fouled by Gunhina.
Well, I think the defence that will be causing most concern, and it will be causing Garbaletto concern, is the message was there last week when Page is knocking down shots for funds against Leeds. He's not being closed down tough at all tonight.
Fraser misses the first free throw. 8.3 seconds left in the first quarter, which seems to have flown by. Eagles up to 30 points, and Rocks only on 26. And there's a really, really good play from Jalen Billups, who gets the offensive rebound and knocks it down. Page shoots from well inside his own half as the time goes out.
Story behind Leeds, obviously, going into the first game against the Eagles is not the best time to part company with your new assistant coach, but they did, and I know they're looking to strengthen and bring in other players, but that is a turnaround.
So that's the first quarter scores everywhere, and back in this game, Billups has the ball for the Rocks, who are on offense. The Eagles haven't made any changes. Nice drive inside by Billups, but he misses the shot. And Harrison missed the putback, so now he took the rebound. Lasker tried to drive it against former teammate Joe Hart, and Joe Hart comes up with the foul.
That was good defense. I mean, Joe straight away jumped onto Drew's driving hand and forced him wide. Made it very, very difficult for him to get the shot off and make it.
So Lasker going to the line for the Eagles. Makes the first one.
So looking at those early scores, Jeff, this could, I guess, be the year when London finally establish themselves as potential contenders.
Well, I've been very impressed with it. I'm very impressed with our recruiting, and they do look very solid. New coach who's certainly got his own ideas. And don't forget, of course, it's London here next week, next Friday night as well. So that could potentially be a very big game early in the season. So now there with Brown coming inside on Martin, shaking him around. Tried to go for the long pass, but Drew Lasker saw that all day long. He gives it to Gunhina. Out to Page for 3. He's missed that one. First one he's missed. Sorry, only the second shot he's missed. Billups comes up with the rebound, but Eagles once again steal it away. This time it's Martin driving to the basket. His reverse is not good enough. Harrison managed to get the rebound, but he went out of bounds as he tried to throw the ball away. And the Eagles got a bit of a lucky break there, because really Martin should have made that layup.
I think subs are a timeout are here in order here. I mean, this has been a really, really scrappy phase of play, and doesn't surprise me. And it probably be Coach Garbaletto who's caused that timeout, because his team are not setting things up. They're not getting back on transition defence.
Martez Harrison out and brought Joe Hart back on. And at the moment, if you look out there, he hasn't actually got a point guard unless Joe Hart's going to play a point guard for him.
Well, that would, unless whoever 7 is, unless he can maybe play a little bit of point. But, you know, maybe it was. I thought Johnny Bunyan came on, and I thought he tried to run the offense. He tried to set up plays for the team.
He was possibly a little bit nervous being at home with so many people making their debuts, but that's a foul by Martin. That'll be his second foul, silly reaching foul. As you say, number 7, Earl Brown, certainly went to get the ball there. Looks as if he is going to try and play that little bit of point. And Terry Martin will be coming out after that foul, yeah. And Darius Defoe coming back on.
Well, it's an unnecessary foul, wasn't it? You know, he's a free throw in his own half away from the court. Nothing was ever going to happen after that play. Just completely unnecessary foul.
It's a frustration. One of those fouls that some players do where they've missed a layup or a bad pass or something, and the foul as a result. He has Page trying to go coast to coast, but he finds Defoe unmarked in the corner, and Defoe just knock the jumper down.
Mm-hmm. That's the third cross-court pass, Jeff, that the Rocks have had picked off in their offense, and you've got to give credit to the Eagles for reading them and taking them.
There's Joe Hart inside.
That was an excellent play.
Yeah, it's a really good cut from Joe Hart to get under the basket and get free, and Kieran Achara found him really well. There's Page at the other end. His shot's just rimming out at the moment, and Eagles lacking a little bit of fluency on offense without any shadow of a doubt. And Rocks disrupting that play, and Rocks have got a chance here of going leveling the game up. And there's Achara using the baseline to drive and slams it home with 2 hands, and we're tied at 32.
Certainly what the Rocks have needed is for Achara to make a big contribution to the game at this stage.
And there's a 3-pointer from Fab Flanoy, who was left absolutely wide open. And, you know, teams do that sometimes with Flanoy, and he can shoot the ball, and he's proved that tonight. He's already on 5 points. Eagles' interior defense are not really at the races at the moment, and Kieran Achara knocks another 2 down.
Oh, just basic defense, Jeff. Everybody's letting the man cut in front of them. You know,
There's
too much face cutting going on.
Happens exactly the same at the other end. Nice find by Flanoy to find Defoe unmarked, and he knocks down the 2, and Eagles lead by 3. Nearly another steal by the Eagles. In fact, it is a steal in the end as Lasker gets hands on it. Flanoy playing the point at the moment. Comes up and he's left wide open again. This time he misses the shot, very hesitant to take it, but he was wide open.
Yeah. If he'd taken that first time, he would have been 3 from 3.
Hesitancy often causes players to miss, and that was the case there. Rocks coming back again. Earl Brown looking to play a bit of point.
Yeah, certainly the Eagles do seem to be stepping up their intensity of the defence, particularly getting more into the passing lanes off the ball. But also Glasgow are not executing the basic passing skills very well at all.
Eagles make a triple substitution. Page, Goodhina coming off, and I thought Flanoy was going to go off, but Flanoy's actually pointing to Lasker and sending Lasker to the bench. Flanoy doesn't look as if he wants to come off anytime soon here.
No, he's going to 35 minutes tonight from the coach.
On Mortez, Harrison turns the corner far too easy, but he's met by Jukic at the basket, and that was enough to put him off. Nimley, in he goes. Floater doesn't go. Nimley not finding his shooting touch at the moment. Gareth Murray flew past Flanoy, but he met Kai Williams. And he has Jukic on a breakaway. Big slam from Zarko Jukic. Great block from Kai Williams to set it up, and then Jukic was away, and great finish. He has Murray against Flanoy, looking for a foul. Billups just outside the arc. Brown turns the corner on Williams. Achara picks the ball up now. Another lovely pass in by Kieran Achara. What a good player he is. And Murray knocks down an easy 2.
Yeah, I mean, Gareth Murray, if he thinks about that play there, his contribution was excellent. Prior to that, he was trying to do far too much with the ball, making careless passes to teammates, but that was an absolutely excellent backdoor cut by Gareth Murray.
Nice ball movement from the Eagles, but Darius Defoe's shot from the top of the key didn't go in, but they've managed to recycle it. Darius Defoe can't make the layup, and back come the Rocks, and it's certainly anybody's game at the moment. Great hands from Zarko Jukic there, picks that one out. Found Brian Nimley back looking for the three. Hasn't gone in. Jukic gets it again. Nimley bounces back up, and this time hits the three. Like a little jack in the box there. Eagles suddenly up by 6, 42-36. Halfway through the second quarter. They say Saw Nimley can't play defense there, but he took the charge there. Not convinced. Certainly.
Well, what I'm not convinced about is that either point guard is actually out there doing what you would want the point guard to do, which is get your team into running its offense.
Well, there's an interesting point there. Chris Dodds, referee, explained it to Dave Forrest that that's a warning for a flop from Saw Nimley, and yet the charge was called. Perhaps it was a little bit tried too much overreaction. Kai Williams, he knocks down a nice three from being wide open. Suddenly the Eagles have got a 9-point lead at 45-36.
Yeah.
Rocks need to respond. Harrison finds Fraser. Fraser finds Hart. Hart will look for three off the screen. In and out. Darius DeFore picks up the rebound. He finds Nimley. Nimley's got... Well, he had Jayshon Page wide open, so that's what Nimley does. Comes up, shoots a three, knocks it down. Eagles lead by 12. Garbeletta wants a timeout.
You know, we were talking to Tony before, and I remember having a chat to him about 3 or 4 years ago. One of these days, I'll have a chat with Tony. I'll find him happy.
You made the comment about even if he hand-picked 10 players, he would still find something.
Yeah, but he loves the game. He's very, very passionate about it. He's a deep-thinking coach, and he comes up with some good stuff, and he motivates players.
And that's what you want to see as well. You know?
I mean, I think one of his great achievements was when, you know, he lost all those stars at Mersey, and he had all those young players, and he gave people like Miles Hessian a chance.
Yeah.
What an athlete he was. What a player he was. I think he's now playing in Pro A Germany, is that right, Hessian?
Yeah, he's pro in Germany, and obviously he was in the Great Britain squad, although he was injured and couldn't play in this summer. Miles Hessen, and he's become a real star. And I mean, to get he would be a top player probably in the BBL if he came back now.
For sure.
Nice bit of defence here from the Rocks. Saw Nimley wasn't so sure that the ball wasn't tipped back, but it was called for a backcourt violation. Earl Brown made a nice drive for the basket to cut the gap to 10 points. And now Rocks have got a chance to cut it even further as Brown goes inbound the ball. Nimley and Harrison clash there, and accidental clash, both point guards down. Another long pass across court to Joe Hart, but Joe Hart was actually standing on the sideline when he caught the ball, so it's out of bounds play. There's Nimley, he finds Page. Page comes inside. Saw Kai Williams in the corner, but unfortunately Kai Williams decided to make a dive to the basket just after Page threw the pass, and that was thrown away. Substitutions coming thick and fast here. Brown and Harrison off to the bench, and we've got Murray and Bunyan coming back on.
It's no surprise at all that Johnny Bunyan's back on, because none of the guys who played so far this quarter have found any sort of answer to the type of point guard play that Tony Garbeletta will want from his team.
It's Joe Hart. And his ball disruption. Eagles threw that away. Back to Hart. Hart finds Fraser wide open. His shot's in and out. Williams takes another rebound. Finds Nimley. Nimley from way downtown, and it goes. Certainly got range. I saw Nimley. And suddenly he's up to 11 points after the slow start. If you shoot the ball as often as he does, you've got a chance of being into double figures.
Well, I think he's thinking that the three-point line is NBA range.
Joe Hart misses his 3 points. Flournoy takes a rebound. Page, great drive to the basket. Great drive on Gareth Murray. Lays it in for two and is fouled again. Gotta like that attitude from Page. Really good drive. Murray really didn't have a lot of option. Got the wrong side of him, and Page knew exactly what he was doing. Drew the foul lovely. And again, changes from Garbeletta. 2 off, 2 on. Chara and Hart off.
Well, you know, as a coach, he's entitled to make these changes. He's trying to find answers to some problems. You know, this is, yes, it's very early season, not pre-season, but it's early season, and a lot of these players will arrive late. Earl Brown only came last weekend, so you know he has a lot to do as a coach, and he's trying to stem this tide. He's trying to keep his team in the game at this stage.
Eagles up by 16 now. Yeah. It's 54-38.
Fast running away from him.
And as you say, it's more down defense. 2:10 left on the clock. And it's Furnoy. He's played great defense there. Jason Page backs him up by picking off the pass that Furnoy forced. It was probably a pass the Rocks didn't want to throw. Page to Nimley. Way downtown again. And in it goes. Another 3-point for Saw Nimley. 57-38. Once again, Eagles racking up the points, but what's been impressive is, although Rocks have been a bit disjointed, their defence has been much better. And of course, that man Furnoy has been on all the time. That defence has been in place. That's a nice move by Fraser against Page. Bit of a mismatch there. Fraser took advantage of it and laid it in for 2 to take the Rocks to 40 and cut the gap to 17 with 1.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. And here's Furnoy, who's just allowed to walk to the basket almost, but misses the jumper. Bunyan now trying to get something going for the Rocks. He finds Billups inside. Billups will face up against Jukic, and that's a foul by Jukic all day. And that's been called as an unsportsmanlike foul.
I think that is a new interpretation. Am I right there,
yeah,
Jeff? That he made no attempt to play the ball, he played the man.
Yeah.
And that now is clear unsportsmanlike.
Yeah. Nimley didn't agree with the call, but I think the call was absolutely correct. Dave Forrester calls a timeout probably just to calm things down a little bit. But I think you're right there. The new interpretation of the rule, like foul, that wouldn't have been called last year. And to be fair, there was no play at the ball, so it probably should have been called. It's right to call it as unsportsman. Yeah. And that sends Billups to the line for, I think it's 2 shots, yeah. Makes the first.
Well, Tony Garboletto right now will be pleased to get points any way he can, because there's been certainly a dearth of points in the last 3 or 4 minutes of play.
Billups makes the first, misses a second, but as I say, it's an unsportsmanlike foul, so the Rocks will get the ball back. They've cut the gap to 16. It's 57-41, and it's their possession, and they'll be looking to try and cut into that lead even more. Page goes for the steal, but Brown's too quick for him. Takes the ball well. Bunyan, nice pass in to Billups. Billups working against Jukic, but he can't make the 2. Gareth Murray takes up the loose ball, and he knocks down a 3 from Bunyan's good pass.
Yeah, excellent pass. He saw that he had taller players around the basket. Quick as a flash, he saw that he had a shooter wide open on the wing. Excellent play.
Kai Williams airballs a 3 after Page, setting him up really well. Yeah, and Jason Page indicating to the referee the referee was standing right in front of it, and he's indicating it was a double dribble. Wasn't so sure, but referee Dodds did think it was a double dribble, and that has been called. So Eagles will get the end line ball. Darius Defoe comes back on for Zarko Jukic. Certainly a bundle of energy at the defensive end, Jukic.
I thought he played quite well positionally.
Page knocks down the 2 from the corner. Takes him up to 18 points as we enter the last 40 seconds of the first half. Eagles leading by 15 at 59-44. Nice play by Bunyan, puts Nimley on his backside. Referee's looking to see whether that was a flop. Nice inside play by Earl Brown. Certainly looking like the Earl Brown from Cheshire of last season. Up to 14 points. Nimley's going to make sure that the Eagles get the last shot here of the quarter. They lead by 13, and it wouldn't be a surprise to see him try and put a 3 up at some stage. He's actually going to drive to the basket. Knocks a nice little floater in off the glass. Virtue on the buzzer. Gives the Eagles a 61-46 lead at the half. Point guard at Harrison, but we'll see how things go as Kai Williams inbounds to Nimley. Gets the second half underway. Jukic into Defoe at the top of the key. His shot was blocked, but Jukic took the rebound. He feeds Nimley, and Nimley knocks down a 3, and away we go again.
Doesn't need any invitation, does he? He's an absolute out-and-out catch-and-shoot player.
Billups driving it towards the basket, and Jukic trying to get the block in, but he knocks it down over the top, and nice play by Jalen Billups.
Well, it was actually, because Jukic was in a good position the whole way, but Billups protected the ball well with his body and used his left hand to float it over Jukic.
Great defensive work once again by Zlatko Jukic, as nimbly got to the basket and put up a floater, which unfortunately just bounced off, but trapped the ball to Jukic, but it's Rock's ball on the arrow, and Harrison coming forward now to try to set something up. Machara just outside the 3-point line. Zukic saw that pass all day long. Great steal, and there it goes again, slams it home.
Yeah, I mean, that turnover clearly goes to Achara. The man wasn't open, he wasn't in a position to receive the ball, and he actually looked like he was getting ready to make a backdoor cut.
Billups driving to the basket again, and he's blocked by Jukic, but well recovered by Billups.
Yeah, he stayed with it well, didn't he? But, the Jukic's early impressions are he's good positionally without the ball, both offensively and defensively.
Page for two, misses it. Great rebound from Darius Defoe, but knocked out by Earl Brown. Good defensive play by Earl Brown. Billups finds Harrison. Harrison guarded by Williams, so it turns down to 3. Brown doesn't turn down to 2, but he misses it, and it's tipped by Defoe, picked up by Page. Page finds Jukic out wide. His 3-point shot's well short, though. Harrison to Murray. Oh, lovely pass from Harrison.
Well,
nice slip by Billups as well.
First thing that's clearly come out of the dressing room is on every offense this quarter so far, the point guard has set up the play. He hasn't looked to do anything off the dribble. He's simply been facilitated by moving the ball to get them into some sort of offense. Now they're trying a zone to see whether that's going to be the answer defensively.
Jukic holds the ball well, and a good cut from Kai Williams to the basket for 2.
Well, any zone that ball watches is going to get murdered on cuts coming down the middle.
Have to be impressed with this Zukic, though. Not necessarily a scorer, but very smart player, but both ends of the floor. Looks very much like a team player. There's Billups going for 3. Just rims out, and the battle for the rebound goes Eagles' way, because Harrison knocks it dead, and Eagles get the ball. Williams into Nimley. Nimley's talking to Page and trying to set something up. Gives it back to Williams. Williams finds Zukic. Zukic coming in from the wing. Nice 2-point layup from Zlatko Jukic.
Well, the first rule of any zone is you contest every shot. Right now, their zone is not contesting shots, and it's certainly not contesting cutters.
Page got the steal, but Achara really had no choice but to try and pull him back, because he saw Nimley was away and he was completely open under the basket. And that's another unsportsmanlike foul called by referee Dodds on Kieran Achara, and that'll send Jason Page to the line for 2 shots.
So am I right in thinking, Jeff, that these 2 players who picked up the unsportsmanlike are going to be very careful for the rest of the game?
Well, if my understanding of the rule is right, and I'm sure I'll get slaughtered for not knowing it on the boards, but I'm pretty sure if they pick up a second unsportsmanlike foul, they will get ejected from the game.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Page knocks down the first. Yes, and I'll be on the boards in the morning to read whether I'm right or not about that, Dave.
Yeah, well, I think it's obviously important to understand these things, because it has an impact on how people view and watch the game.
Page knocks the first one down, but misses the second. But Eagles up to 71-52 lead, and they'll have the ball on the sideline. Kai Williams to inbounds to Nimley. Nimley calls a play. Darius comes up, sets the screen. Kai Williams open for 3. Down it goes. 74-42 Eagles. Sorry, 74-52 Eagles.
See, they tried a help recovery situation there, but the end result was they left the ball alone.
And that just shows you the difference with the unsportsmanlike foul as well, because Eagles effectively picked up 4 points on that play.
Yeah.
Good hands at the other end by Nimley as he knocked away Achara's pass. Rock still got the ball. Brown inbound.
And they are making an attempt now to run stuff as a team in offense, so there's another example.
there's Harrison going for
Yeah,
two.
That was pretty cool because he used the pick and roll. He noticed that nobody jumped in, nobody hedged out, so he just calmly took the shot. But defensively, the zone has not provided the answer in the sense that they're simply not pressuring the ball and they're not shutting out, they're not protecting the middle.
And at the other end, we have Jaysean Page with a fake and a step back, which put Harrison on his backside, and Harrison tried to get up and recover and fouled Page, who was attempting a three. So Page will go to the line for 3 shots. I'm sure I'll get accused of bias when I say this, but this Jaysean Page does look a player. Can't take a free throw though. Commentator's nightmare.
It's too easy for him. He likes pressure. No, I mean unless there's a massive turnaround by Glasgow, the Eagles are going to end up 2-0. Can't argue with that for the start of the season, especially with so many new faces in the team. So, progress so far. Glasgow won't team with all the answers, all the questions to answer.
Because obviously, if that win is, if Eagles do go on to win this game, obviously Glasgow will be 0-2 as well, which not something Coach Gobbleletter will be happy about. Page makes the final 2 of these 3, takes them up to 21 points personal. Eagles lead by 22. It's 76-54. As you say, Glasgow definitely trying to run things, and Murray's pass missed. Was picked off by Jaysean Page with yet another steal. He had 5 steals in the first half, and he slams it home for 2, and he's up to 23 points now. Yeah,
and you have to credit Page. He's reading the passing lanes well, and he is picking off passes. So that's a much better way to initiate your offense from Glasgow. Much more high percentage in terms of the ball movement.
But Harrison's threes.
No comment on the shot.
Harrison's 3 was an air ball, and Eagles just hustled for the play, and 24-second clock, shot clock violation, and that 3-point air ball from Harrison gets him a seat on the bench, and not even an acknowledgement from Coach Gobbleletter as Johnny Bunyan comes back out. Eagles with Williams inbounding to Nimley. Nimley over halfway. Defoe setting the screen. Nimley finds Zukic coming in. I will say Zukic, it's Jukic, not Zukic. Bunyan coming away with the rebound. Earl Brown at the other end. His shot is short. Jukic at the other end, battling away for the Eagles. Kai Williams knocks it free. Nimley for 3 at the other end. Didn't call it. That's possibly where Coach Flannoy will not be happy. He had 2 players over there, and he took the 3-point shot on himself. Yeah. Nice play. Nice play from
the Glasgow. Disappointing thing was that the players had worked hard off the ball to get open in good positions, and the point guard simply didn't see them.
Followed by Jukic, that will be his third.
Yeah, I mean, Kieran, and I think over the years I've really admired the way Kieran's played tonight. Is not his night. He's finding things very difficult. He took a good offensive rebound. He put the ball down on the floor. Eagles swarmed all over him. No options left. Turnover.
Zarko Jukic goes to the bench and gets a really good hand from the Eagles fans, and Fab Flannoy comes out to take his place.
And do I read anything to this, Jeff, that the game's clearly going the Eagles' way, and yet Fab's coming out in front of people like Martin and Lasker and other people on the bench?
Well, I would say a lot of it's down to the fact that what we've seen so far of Zarko Jukic in games and in practice is that he is, as you say, a great positional player, and he plays a lot of good defence, and Flannoy's been very impressed with his defence. So if he's taken what he considers probably his best defender off, he's going to bring himself back on to replace him defensively, whereas probably Martin and Gunhina and Lasker aren't quite as tight defensively. Fraser called for a push and foul on Flannoy, and Eagles get the ball back.
I love to see Drew Lasker play, Jeff. I think he's a real impact player. If your team for whatever reason is not quite firing, Drew's the man to bring off the bench. He puts great tempo into the game, and seems the point is it's a big one next weekend.
Yeah, and London, who are running away with the game against Giants. There's Page from the corner for three, that rims out. Williams is up with contesting for the rebound, but Achara won the tip, gives it to Murray. Murray finds Brown, nice first step from Brown, tries to go inside and drive, but Nimley pinches it off him and he manages to save it. Gets it to the four and picks it up himself. It's going to go coast to coast, but he finds Kai Williams open, but Williams slightly off balance, decides not to shoot. Well, that's a poor pass that time from Jalen Page. And that was picked off by Brown, but he couldn't catch it. He's knocked it out of bounds, so Eagles get a little bit of lucky there. We'll get the ball back from Flanoy will inbound. Here is Terry Martin coming on for Darius Defoe.
So I suppose one of the things Coach Garboletta will be thinking about, as he pointed out to us before the game, he's got Brown on what sounds like a month's trial. But I would have thought that looking at all the way they played tonight, he probably needs a player like that.
Nimley found Martin, that was a nice shot. That's Terry Martin's range from the elbow. Very smooth shooter. Bunyan to Billups. Billups finds Murray. Brown coming back round. Certainly looks more balanced, but again, another cross-court pass picked off by Flanoy, who tried to go to the basket and was beautifully blocked by Billups, but Martin was there to pick up the offensive rebound and knocked it in for two. Bunyan, who's again trying hard to get free and find something, won't shoot the ball. Brown will, wide open for three, knocks it down. A little bit lazy defense there from Page, but nice shot from Earl Brown. Nimley tried to put Brown in the air, but Brown didn't go for the fake. Eagles move the ball round. Nimley's got it again. Less than 10 seconds on the shot clock. He finds Martin. Nice spin move from Martin. Bounces off Achara, but it was off Brown. Doesn't make the 2-point shot that time. Bunyan at the other end, looking for a gap in the Eagles' defence. Finds Fraser, who's managed to get free. He throws it back to Bunyan. Bunyan will put up the three. He's missed that. Martin didn't get the rebound. Fraser did. And puts it back. Nice play from Ali Fraser following in on the 3-point shot. Gap still at 22. Eagles. There's Page. Nice step to the basket. He's missed the layup though. Looking at the referee for a foul. He needs to get back and play defense. Billups. Oh, nice pass inside. And that's why he needed to get back on defense, because they were wide open there, the Eagles. They weren't set up at all. And Billups found loads of space in the middle to find Fraser, and Fraser knocked it down for two. And Forrest, probably like what you've just said there, is as a result of the fact that he wasn't playing good enough defense. Drew Lasker also on for Kai Williams, who's had a very solid game. Yeah.
I've been particularly impressed with the ways Kai has interpreted the offense. He makes the pass and he makes a really hard cut, and he's always working away from the ball to try and get open.
Nimley this time fouled on his way to the basket by, I think it was Gareth Murray. Go to the line to shoot free throws. This is the first one short. Now he will be upset because again, a little bit of inside information. He doesn't like missing free throws even in practice. Makes a second. Interesting to see Gunhina now to see what impact he can bring to the game.
Yeah, I didn't
get the most of that. That's a nice steal from Jalen Page as well. The Eagles out and running 4-on-3. Page cuts into the middle, steps back, knocks it down for two. Nice roll, shooter's roll. But that's nice play there from Rocks to get straight back. Oh, that's a magnificent dunk. One-handed slam, tomahawk slam from Jalen Billups. That'll be in the highlight reel next week.
Yeah, well, he is really working, isn't he, to establish an inside presence and be a big threat inside.
Nimley misses the two. Long rebound comes back to him. As you say, he's not going to die wanting for shooting. Knocks down the two.
Absolutely got the green light.
Rocks do look a lot more compact and this off, moving the ball around a lot more, trying to create things there. But occasionally the ball just in the passing lane, and the Eagles are getting their hands in the passing lane. That time Lasker almost got the steal, but he just stepped out of bounds. Joe Hart on at the moment. He will inbound the ball as Gareth Murray takes his seat. And Earl Brown comes back on, and he goes straight across to inbound the ball. Obviously a works play here as Bunyan comes out, picks up the ball in the point guard position, hounded by Flanoy. He finds Billups. Billups will shoot the three. He can shoot the three as well, the big fella. A very impressive game, looks a very good player. There's Page at the other end, going past everybody, finds his partner Nimley. Nimley with the floater, in it goes. Nice combination from the Eagles guards.
I mean, we're looking at the scoreboard, and we're well as good as 90 points after 3 quarters. This could end up being another big score for the Eagles, and it's not getting any better for the Rocks because simply the Eagles are finding it too easy to move the ball. Too easy to penetrate.
Page tried to penetrate then, was well guarded by Brown. He's been backed down, and in he goes again. Steps back, up it goes, and it goes again.
Well, he certainly likes that jab step to create separation from his defender to get his shot off.
Great hands from Drew Lasker, but unfortunately it just pops back, and Earl Brown knocks down the three right on the buzzer. Eagles just conceded a few points at the end, but as you say, 91 points are averaging 30 points a quarter at the moment, Dave, and that's going to be the problem, I think, for teams against them this year. Rocks have put up 72 points.
Goal players are catching the ball. They're not squaring up to the basket to see what the options are. They're simply thinking there's a cross-court pass and throwing it before they've looked to see where the Eagles' defence is.
Eagles make some changes then. Page misses his shot. Gunina up well, but Brown picks up the loose ball, takes it out. He finds Joe Hart, who tries to find Fraser inside. Good defence by the Eagles. Gunina brings it away. He finds Flanoy. Flanoy finds Lasker. Oh, nice reverse pass by Lasker, and a good cut as well. It doesn't get the rebound, doesn't get the roll in, but Darius Defoe is there with an offensive rebound and the putback.
Old-fashioned but effective. Give and go. Drew gets a finger roll in. Doesn't quite go. Darius in there taking the offensive rebound. Bang, straight back in.
And it was the 3 Eagles returnees all playing the part there. And there's a perfect example of Eagles help defense, although Darius gets called for the foul, reach it in. But Billups was given the ball there, and he just turned past Defoe, but Flanoy was there with the help support. But then Darius put his hands in, as Mr. McCauley down at London would like to say, in the cookie jar, and picks up the foul.
Well, I've always thought over the years that the Eagles do that very well. They're very, very good at rotating into double teams on defence.
Joe Hart charging in there, and I think not sure who the foul was called on, but Joe Hart was driving inside, and he's actually walked to the free throw line, but I think he's been a bit ambitious there, and sideline ball it is. Earl Brown goes across to take it. Eagles lead by 21 with 9 minutes to go. There's Harrison, hounded by Flanoy. Defoe comes across, it switches on. Fraser, nice turnaround hook shot. Alistair Fraser starting to have a nice game. Certainly picked up a nice line.
Well, give Harrison credit as well that he brought the ball across. He saw an open play on the wing. I mean, that was 3 quick passes, so quick that the Eagles simply didn't have a chance to get into the passing lanes to deny that final move. That was good execution.
Meanwhile, at the other end, though, that's where Rocks have failed out. And Jason Page is basically able to run the court coast to coast. Oh. And again, another cross-court pass picked off by Lasker, who missed the dunk, but Jason Page was up there with him, and he got the offensive rebound. There wasn't a single Rock player back or even running back there to help out. Eagles jump up as well again. Joe Hart in the corner, tries to turn the corner. Again, nice pass inside to Alistair Fraser, who knocks him down another 2 points.
Yeah, very smooth, very easy. That's what they need to do more of. And without doubt, Coach Garboletto next week will be going back to basic passing, catch the ball, look, see what the options are before you make your pass.
Nice ball movement there from the Eagles. Gunina had a chance of an open three, but he saw Lasker was in the corner even more open. He threw it into Lasker, and Lasker knocked down the three. Eagles now hit the 100-point mark, have a 24-point lead. Harrison tries to drive inside. A lot of Eagles help inside. But again, Fraser doing well inside and knocks down another 2 points. Doing really well inside at the moment.
He's coming up with a useful contribution, isn't he, on the points, on the scoreboard. And that's what they needed.
There's still now fighting Gunhina. Nice give and go again, and a good reverse layup from Yuri Gunhina. So all the Eagles on the score sheet now, and the only one that isn't is AJ Bassi, but he hasn't actually got into the game. So there's Earl Brown, another 2 points. He's very, very good offensive player, is that Earl Brown.
Well, if Glasgow had moved the ball like this earlier in the game, it maybe wouldn't have been quite so easy for the Eagles, but this is going to end up with a comfortable, easy win for the Eagles. Having said that, Glasgow have actually sneaked it back to 18 points.
Well, I think the Eagles could be. Look, they had 3 offensive rebounds and 3 layups, and they missed them all. And eventually, the ball was taken out. Jason Page takes a seat on the bench, and Eagles fans actually up on their feet applauding him back to the bench, and all his teammates as well. Far from going back to the bench as well. Jason Page with going to the bench with 31 points, 3 rebounds, and 7 steals. Nimley back on and Jukic back on. Joe Hart stays on court. He finds Fraser inside. Fraser looks for Murray. And Murray takes him away and Fraser comes in. Nice hook shot. 2 more points for Ali Fraser, who's certainly filling the box.
Yeah,
up now.
He's feeling his way into the game. He's doing a good job for them right now.
He's good here, driving to the basket, drops it off for Jukic. He can't quite get the layup up, so he puts it back out to Lasker, whose 3-point shot's well short. Billups picks up the rebound, tidies up, gives it to Harrison, the point guard. He turns the corner, drives into the basket. Nice, tough move from Harrison. One of the best moves he's made all night.
I don't know how much of this is the fact that Tony Garboletta, if he's going to take anything from this game, will be pleased with the way they are now starting to take care of the ball a little bit better. They're pleased with the way they're moving out the ball. And whether the fact that the Eagles think the game is well won or not is a factor, I don't know.
See, that's a good player there from Harrison, who found Billups, who got ahead of Defoe, and nice long pass and knocks down the 2, and Darius has to foul him, so it's 2 points and an extra shot. And it's our first look at the night of young Canadian point guard AJ Bassi comes on with 5:29 to play. Kai Williams also coming back in for Gunhina, who goes out. The Eagles make 2 changes and gives Bassi his first chance to show the Eagles fans what he's capable of. Billups makes the extra point. He's up to 20 points.
Did Bassi get minutes down at Leeds?
Yeah, he played.
So he has already made his BBL debut.
Yeah, he had 12 points in 19 minutes. Mm-hmm. And there's Saw Nimley at the other end. Takes his personal points up to 29 points. The Eagles 2 guards have got 61 points between them. 60 points between them. There's Billups. That's his move. Spin move inside. I think if that falls on Zart with Jukic, which it's on Darius Defoe. I think that's Darius Defoe's 4th foul. No, it's his 5th foul actually. So Darius Defoe fouls out. Fouls out with 9 points and 7 rebounds in 22 minutes of play. I think we'll see a lot of that from Darius this year. I think his minutes will be down with the lineup the Eagles have got. Billups knocks down the first of the free throws. Takes himself up to 23 points. Now 24, so he's Rock's top scorer now at 24. Brown on 23 and Fraser on 20, but not a lot from anybody else. Eagles who had 8 in double figures last week have just got the 3 in double figures this week, with Williams on 14, Nimley on 29, and Page on 31. And there's Nimley working for another shot, gets it off, misses it. Murray comes away with the rebound. Harrison finds Hart. Hart finds it back to Harrison. Harrison drives in. Jukic up tall. Nick, great player. That's the athleticism of Zartwood. Jukic there blocks the shot at one end, and he's the first one up at the other end to take Saw Nimbley's pass, lay it in for two, and get foul for one.
Yeah, he's really impressed me the way he works without the ball. I mean, he was in great position to take that block shot, but he was off to the races as soon as he'd taken it, and he knew his own player had caught the ball.
Again, big changes for Rocks as Harrison and Murray take a seat, and Bunyan and Brown come back out. Jukic going the line for an extra shot. This is a free throw. Eagles lead by 20. Hart for three. Makes the three. We know Joe Hart can do that. The Rocks look at this and they've scored 92 points and they're still 17 points behind. There's Nimbley, he's going to go at the basket. Great pass inside to Flanoy, but Flanoy couldn't make the layup.
Yeah, the Eagles are just getting a shade careless at the moment. Look at that. I mean,
wide open.
They had the game comfortable. They deserve to be where they are, and suddenly it's almost like they've switched off. And it's now Rocks who are getting easy stuff in transition.
Nimbley goes for three, misses it. Great rebound from Kai Williams. Back to Nimbley for another three. Misses that one as well. We're certainly going to. And there's the long pass. Great pass from Bunyan. Great take from Brown. And Brown's fouled by Williams as he goes up. But the point you're making there, Dave, is and Flanoy definitely looks unhappy with his defensive setup there. Storms away. Page comes on. We haven't seen very much of Bassi at all, but he goes off for only 2 minutes and didn't hardly touch the ball, and I think that's a defensive thing. Jukic goes off and Lasker comes on as well.
Well, Fab's showing his professionalism. He's 15 up, only 3:29 to go, but he wants to make absolutely sure in his own mind that he's going to get this game.
He says 15 points up, but if Brown knocks these two, suddenly it's a 13-point game.
Agreed, yeah.
And in 3.5 minutes, that's definitely pull it back. You can definitely pull that back. You just tighten up the defense a little bit and continue to play. And I think Flanoy's got probably, obviously he hasn't got Defoe because Defoe's fouled out, but probably what he would consider some of his stronger defensive players. Nimbley again shaking and baking at the top of the key. Page is back on. He's come back on for Bassi. He's going to look. Finds Flanoy. Flanoy finds Williams wide open. Kai Williams misses his 2-point shot. Brown takes the rebound. And if they could convert this one, it could be an 11-point game. And they will convert this one because Brown's great play by Brown. And the slam from Alistair Fraser again. And suddenly it's an 11-point game and the Eagles were running away with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, this is finding out time for Tony, isn't it? I mean, he may well be that he can go with a combination of Bunyan running the point and see what, Harrison's like playing off the ball. There's one thing to be sure, he'll be certainly trying to find some answers in this next week.
And he finds Lasker, he comes round, takes the bounce, shoots the three.
I think we can say that him and Page can knock down threes. I think we'll be able to say that without any fear of contradiction.
But, if you live by the three, you can die by the three as well. And I think Flanoy will be looking for more offense inside. There's Billups twisting and turning. Oh, that's a big call as a foul, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, looks like it.
Foul on 21, Drew Lasker.
My first thoughts there were that referee will be calling for a travel, but no, he's obviously seen an infringement somewhere and 2 shots.
I think he probably. We were talking a little bit about the new travelling rule, and that could well be an example there. That probably would have been called as travelling last year. Billups, if he knocks these two down, Eagles will have conceded 100 points at home, and the gap will be down to 12 with 2:20 to go. Billups makes both. I think Eagles have been pretty much dominated inside by Glasgow, and it's really only their outside shooting that's probably helped. This guy Page going to the basket, he's missed that too. Watch, Joe Hart gets the rebound, Bunyan brings it up. Brown looking to possibly shoot a three, but good work by Jalen Billups just to get that ball free. As if could have been within 10 there, Rocks. And deservedly so. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It just shows that the effect that a coach like Garveletto can have. He's somehow managed to get his team, get the right combinations out there, and they've played some tougher defence. Namely, they're cut through like a knife through butter, but they've played tougher defence and they've been very good offensively. There's Brown, finds Billups. Billups looking to put up the three. Williams stops him from shooting the three, but he gets inside. Flanoy comes up with a big block. Hart gets it back. Bunyan drives inside. He finds Fraser for three in the corner, but he misses it. Big rebound from Flanoy. Billups almost stole it away from him. Flanoy's passed it Nimley. Nimley knocks down yet another three.
Like a layup for him.
Well, in some respects, I suppose if you're 5'6", you've got to be able to shoot. But it is because he did actually have two players up with him there, and his confidence in his three-point shot is obviously there for all to see. Eagles back up by 15 as we enter the last minute. Page now with ball handling duties. Williams finds Lasker, keeping the ball out of Nimley's hands at the moment. Lasker probably going to drive to the basket. Does so, but he kicks it off his own foot as time was going down. 42 seconds left, 117-102. Big scoring game. Eagles once again well over the 100 points in the second game of the season. Great play again from Johnny Bunyan. Another great assist from Bunyan. Another layup inside from Alistair Fraser. Jalen Page now, with the time's clicking down. He's held the ball for a long time here. There he goes to the basket, makes the two. Almost as if he could just do it. He's saying to the Rocks, I'm just going to hold this till the last couple of seconds, and then I'll just knock down the two. And now he's leading the crowd to get the cheers up.